Struggling to find your way around drafting software interfaces? Most CAD platforms throw hundreds of tools at you with no clear starting point, leaving you clicking randomly, hoping something works. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate SolidDrafter's interface like a professional in under 10 minutes. Hi, Matt here from SolidDrafter. In our last tutorial, we walked through the complete account setup process, from navigating to SolidDrafter website, creating your account with your details, and getting your first look at the SolidDrafter dashboard. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to master our interface and grid system. Let's jump in. This is your SolidDrafter dashboard, and as you can see, it's designed to be neat and clean, just like the drawings you'll create. First, let's talk about the Help button. Down below on the right-hand side of the window, you'll see this blue question mark button. This is your instant help system, always available when you need guidance. This button gives you immediate access to essential commands, navigation commands for zooming and panning, drawing commands for shapes, tools, and objects, selection and copy guidelines for managing your work. To zoom in and out on canvas, simply roll forward with mouse wheel to zoom in or roll backward to zoom out. To use the pan view, hold the middle mouse button and drag to move around. Now let's talk about the grid system and coordinate display. And here's something you'll love. This grid is designed to look just like the classic grid notebooks that old school builders and architects used in Australia back in the good old days. The grid system is built from an unlimited network of rectangles. Think of it as infinite graph paper that extends in every direction, giving you boundless space for even the largest projects. Each rectangle is formed by two types of lines working together. Major grid lines. These bold blue lines are spaced exactly 500 millimeters apart, perfect for major building elements and room dimensions. Minor grid lines. These lighter gray lines sit between major grid lines spaced exactly 100 millimeters apart, ideal for precise positioning and detailed work. At the center, you can see the coordinate origin point marked with X and Y at coordinate 0 and 0. The X-axis in red represents horizontal movement, and the Y-axis in green represents vertical movement. In the bottom right corner, you'll always see this handy navigation compass, your axis indicator showing the current orientation of your drawing space. Moving right from the origin point increases your x-coordinate positive x. Moving left from the origin point decreases your x-coordinate negative x. Similarly, the y-axis in green represents vertical reference or movement. Moving down from the origin point increases your y-coordinate, positive y. Moving up from the origin point decreases your y-coordinate, negative y. At the top, you'll see the navigation bar designed for professional workflow management. The Select Project drop-down lets you switch between different projects, perfect for managing multiple clients or different development applications. The File menu handles project creation, saving, and loading. Let me show you how to create your first project. Click New to open the project creation dialog. Enter a descriptive name like One Main Street Renovation and click Create Project. Notice how your current project displays at the top with the date. You always know exactly which project you're working on. If you need to create a new project, simply click the plus Create New Project button right here. Each project maintains its own drawings, measurements, and settings, essential for managing multiple projects without confusion. Notice you have two key functions here. Edit project with a pencil icon and delete project with a cross icon. When you click on edit project, it opens this editing dialog. Here you can update your project name. Maybe you want to be more specific, like changing it to One Main Street, Kitchen, or Rear Addition. There's also an optional description field where you can add detailed project notes. For example, you might add client's details. When you're done making changes, simply click Save Changes to update your project, or Cancel if you want to keep everything as is. Now, if you ever need to remove a project completely, the Delete Project option is available. Make sure you click Save regularly as you create your drawings. This ensures all your measurements, annotations, and design elements are securely stored. Also, SolidDrafter automatically protects your work with built-in autosave functionality. Your project data is automatically saved every 10 minutes in the background. You'll see a project auto-saved notification when this happens. SolidDrafter automatically loads your work when you log in. Let's sign out and sign in to see if it works. Now, model space is where you already are. This is where you do all of your drawing work. You can switch to layout mode by clicking on this button here. This is where you can create viewports, see your work, add project details to the drawing, and eventually print off your PDF drawings. To recap, model space is where you create your drawings. Layout mode is where you prepare final drawings for PDF export and council submission. We'll cover this in upcoming tutorials. The resources dropdown provides access to privacy settings, terms of service, and tutorial videos designed specifically for development applications. On the left side, you'll find the Tools palette. Think of it as your drafting kit. The custom grid line tool enables you to create precise reference lines. When you click this tool, you get options for vertical and horizontal grid lines. For example, if your council requires a 6-meter setback from the front boundary, you'd enter 6,000 millimeters to create a perfect reference line for building alignment. When you create a custom grid line, it appears in two places: as a visual reference line on your canvas, automatically registered in your shapes table with all properties. You can add multiple grid lines to create a complete reference system for your entire site plan or building design. If you select vertical, SolidDrafter opens this dialog asking for a coordinate in millimeters. This creates a vertical reference line at exactly that position, perfect for aligning building elements, setbacks, or property boundaries. You can select any custom grid line by clicking directly on it in your drawing. Watch how it highlights both on the canvas and in the shapes table. When you select a grid line on the canvas, the line highlights visually on your drawing. The corresponding item highlights in your shapes table. All the grid line's properties become accessible for editing. To move a custom grid line, select it and update its coordinate value directly in the shapes table. Let's move the existing vertical grid line to the new coordinate 348 millimeters. To delete a custom grid line, you have options. First, you can select it directly on the canvas by clicking on it, then press the delete button in your interface or press the del key on your keyboard. The grid line immediately disappears from both your canvas and your shapes table. You can also delete grid lines directly from the shapes table. Select the grid line entry you want to remove, then press either the delete button or the del key on your keyboard. Every interface element you've just seen is based on actual projects we've completed through Solid Core engineering. You'll find real examples of extensions, granny flats, retaining walls, and more, all successful council approvals using this exact interface. Ready to put this interface knowledge into action? In our next tutorial, I'll show you exactly how to use the Shapes tool and create your first professional shapes step by step with all the coordinate precision and modification techniques you need. Stop struggling with confusing CAD interfaces and start creating professional drawings with confidence today. Thanks for watching. With SolidDrafter, you're always drafting with confidence.